The average person cannot imagine living in conditions like this. But this is the reality of someone who suffers from a hoarding disorder. And according to a recent study done by the Institute of Mental Health, 1 in 50 Singaporeans will show some form of hoarding tendency in his or her lifetime. Hoarders have great difficulty in parting with their possessions. They feel items cannot be thrown away because they may be needed for a rainy day, regardless of how useless the items may seem. Any attempt to get rid of their things will be met with extreme distress, panic attacks, or even great hostility. Because people who hoard often don't see it as a problem. They hate it when people criticize them for being unhygienic and tell them to get rid of their useless items. And of course, not all hoarders are the same. Take Mrs. Chin, for example. She keeps boxes and boxes of old photos, keepsakes, and souvenirs. They are the only things she has left of her family. How can you expect her to throw them away, she asks.
And
then there's Mr. Lee. He hoards things as a means to eke out a living. He sells some of his collection to pay for his medical bills. He doesn't see why he should be criticized for having plastic bags in front of his doorstep when his neighbors are allowed to park their bicycles in front of theirs. So, what can be done about people like Mr. Lee and Mrs. Chin? Don't they have a right to live their lives the way they choose to, no matter how messy or how poor the living conditions? What would you do if you had to walk a mile in their shoes?